guys, this is Erin from the Instagram account Romance Tarot Witch. This is my first ever YouTube video and it is a timeless pick a card reading for what's going on in your love life right now. We have 3 piles here, Group A, Group B, and Group C. I would love it for you to take a few moments to really trust your intuition, get connected with your body, your intuition, and in a little bit of a meditative state to figure out which card, which pile is really calling you. And once you have that figured out, you can go ahead and find the timestamp for each pile and we can get into it. So, every single deck that I use is going to be in the description box. I do have a clarifier deck here to get a little bit further details about your situation. But with all that being said, we can get started. So Group A, this is going to be your pick a card reading about what's going on in your love life right now. Okay. All right, Group A. So I'm not gonna lie, it seems like your love life right now is a little rough. There might be some abandonment that's happening, or you could have been ghosted recently, or the partner that you are with could not be very emotionally available to you, and you might be feeling really frustrated, especially with this Y card. The shaking your head in disbelief, frustrated, annoyed. I think that you might be very frustrated with where you're at in your love life right now. You might be the kind of person who tends to be in relationships with people who are very much like the Knight of Wands that come in really, really quick, and then the relationship burns out because they end up ghosting, or they might have been love bombing you, or they may have just got distracted. And it might be coming up as a theme in your life. And the reason why I say it might be coming up as a theme is because we have this deja vu card, right? We have the past life, karmic lessons, and repeated patterns. A repeated pattern, right? Do you find yourself in situations with people who do not really value you, or come in really, really hot and strong, and then end up burning out? Is this a pattern for you? Or are you the kind of person that is really, really hot for someone, or really, really likes someone, and then you end up burning out? Is this a repeated pattern for you? Is kind of the really big question here that I'm getting from this reading. I do get the sense that this is a ghosting situation, especially with this Frozen card. You know, silence, no words, stillness. And then this abandonment card, fear of abandonment. Are you are affecting relationship, ghosting, forgive, especially yourself. You know, I think that you might have gotten ghosted by someone very, very recently. You know, you might have been in a place with this person where things seem to be going really well. There's a really passion there, there's a real chemistry there. And then all of a sudden they were emotionally unavailable. And if you're in a partnership, this can also happen periodically in your relationship. I always say that, you know, in any kind of connection, there are going to be ups and downs, and we're not always at our best selves. So in this particular situation, I think you might have either caught someone who wasn't their best self, or this is kind of a repeated pattern for you in your love life, where you end up finding these people who just burn really, really hot and then end up dipping or leaving, or, you know, just ghosting you. So with the Star card, I will say that there is a silver lining. You know, the Star is all about that light after dark. It is the silver lining card is the card that is most associated with, you know, being able to pick yourself up after a really dark time. So if you do feel like you've been having a really, really dark time in your relationships or in your romantic life, I do think that you will be able to get out of that and have a fulfilling relationship, provided that you learn the lesson that's being presented here, which I think in this particular situation, it could be, don't go for emotionally unavailable people. It could be, you know, maybe not ignoring signs when you see someone is having the same patterns of the people in the past that have hurt you. Or it could be healing abandonment issues. Like a lot of us grow up in really emotionally intense households that leave us feeling abandoned by our parents because they were not emotionally available to us. So sometimes in our relationships, we chase that. We see that and we confuse it for a twin soul connection or a soulmate connection. And it really has more to do with that inner healing that still needs to be done. So that's kind of what I see that's going on in your love life right now. I'm going to go ahead and pull a couple of more cards from the Arrows of Love deck to see if there's going to be anything else going on in your love life showing up, what the future looks like, and what's that Star card all about. All right. We have the Eye of the Beholder. Past love, and heart on the line. Okay, so I think that in the future there could be someone in your life that's coming back, maybe an ex or someone that you know, or an old friend, or just someone that you were in a relationship with in a past life who might be really showing up after this, this dark period in your romance life. We have this Eye of the Beholder card, right? So they might see you as someone who's just like beautiful, and you may not necessarily feel that way about yourself in that moment, but I think this person might show up in your life and really kind of reaffirm to you your beauty and your value, which is already inherently there because we don't need nobody to tell us that we're beautiful and valuable, okay? So I think it's going to be something that requires you to put your heart on the line, though. I love this card because it talks about it. Like when I see this card, it's like that anxiety feeling that you get when you meet someone really, really special and you kind of have to surrender to that connection, and it's terrifying. You have to put your heart on the line. But I do think there's a silver lining here. So if you are going through a really dark romantic period, whether you're in partnership or you're single or you've just had many, many people just come in and out of your life, especially if they're fire signs, Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries with that Knight of Wands, if you are going through that dark period, I think that this is not going to be a consistent thing in your life. But it requires that understanding of, okay, like, why do I keep getting in these situations? Like, why do I keep choosing people who don't treat me the way I should be treated? How can you heal that? What are some steps that you can take to feel better about yourself and to not choose those kinds of relationships over and over again? Because once you get over that, Eye of the Beholder, you'll find that special person, right? But we first have to work on ourselves. Like that's how those connections kind of work. So that's what I have for you, Group A. Let me know if it resonated. Let me know if it didn't resonate. Like, tell me what's going on. I want to know in the comment section. I want to be able to communicate and talk to you guys. All right. So let's go ahead and deal with Group B. Let's see what's going on in your love life. Ooh, okay. So we got the Seven of Swords. Somebody might have lied to you about something. Somebody was not being honest with you. There might be some, just right off the bat, when I see the Sevens of Swords, that usually has something to do with some kind of deception, some kind of lie. If you're in a connection right now and you just caught someone in a lie, or you have a suspicion that someone's not being honest with you, that probably is true. I'm going to say that off the bat. However, with these kinds of cards, I'm getting kind of a mixed vibe. With the Sun card, I think you might have found someone in your life or in a relationship with someone who's really, really fun. The Sun card is such a happy, fun card. It's associated with Leo, positivity, and all of those really awesome things. So I think that you might have found someone, or you might be in a connection with someone or interested in someone who's just really fucking fun. They're really great. They're really amazing and great to be around. They might be seducing you, they might be very attractive with the seduction card. You might be flirting, or you might be in the early stages of a connection, flirting or hooking up, being tempted. And yeah, so in this particular connection, I think what might be going on is that you might have just realized that you had some differences, or you might have caught this person in a lie or in some kind of mistruth or something that they were afraid to tell you. You know, we have the unspoken regret, lost words, and disappointment. So I think that this person might have wanted to communicate something with you, but it either they waited too long and you found out about it, or they, you know, you just have a sneaky suspicion that they're not telling you everything. And if that is the case, you're probably right. Especially if you've been arguing lately with this person, or just like not in a good space with this person. You know, if you've had this really, really fun connection and then you want to try to bring a level of seriousness into the connection, they might have like clamped up, gotten scared, been like, whoa, 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 I don't know about that, as a lot of people do. So that's kind of what I'm seeing here. We have this card, leaving space, right here. Give yourself time to heal. Right one can't come if the wrong one is there. Clear the drawer of them. So you might be in a connection with someone who you know that you don't want to be in a real romantic relationship, but they are holding up space in your life. So this could be an indication that you should cut this person off because they are holding a lot of space. It also can talk about in relationships how we don't necessarily leave space for our partners to fully express ourselves, maybe because we're scared about what they're going to say, so they feel like they're literally clamped up. So I would kind of advise you to maybe look at, the connections that you do have and see where you can bring a little bit of room for those people to truly express themselves and like to have a safe space. Because the reason why people lie is, well, first of all, it's a terrible thing to do. Like, don't do it. But a lot of the times the reason why people do lie is because they're afraid of what someone else might think. They don't feel like if they told the truth, it would be received in a good way. And that might be because what they did was messed up and not cool, and they shouldn't have been doing it in the first place. However, when we're trying to get to the bottom of something and we're trying to get someone to express why they did something, it's important that we leave that space open so that, we can at least express ourselves clearly. And then after that, if you want to be mad and be like, hey, why'd you do that? Then that would be the time to do it. Okay, Group B, I'm going to go ahead and pull some extra cards to kind of see, like, what are the futures, this connection? Is this going to resolve itself? What's the tea? What's going on? Okay. Ooh, we have Secret Admirer, Standards and Boundaries, and Gamble. It might feel kind of like a gamble to deal with the person that you're dealing with right now. Like, you might feel like, I don't know, like, I'm not really sure. Or if you did catch them in a lie, or you did have an argument with them, and now you're kind of wondering, like, should I go with this connection now? It might feel like a gamble. And I think you can go with the connection. With the Standards and Boundaries card, I see that as making sure that your standards and your boundaries are being honored. And so long as they're doing the work to be able to meet that, then great. Then you have a connection that you can work on. You have a direction that you guys are going to as a couple. With the Secret Admirer card, that could say that there's somebody else in your life who's just been admiring you from afar, or it could say that you are not in contact with this person, and the reason why you weren't in contact is because you caught them in a lie, or you didn't trust them, and now they've been secretly admiring you from the far, trying to figure out how they're going to come and slip back into your life, right? So with that, I would say, and then with the Standards and Boundaries, just make sure if you do have somebody that wants to come back in your life who wasn't treating you right from the beginning, make sure that you're keeping your boundaries. Like, sometimes it can feel so nice to be with the people that we love and that we miss, and we're like so excited, and we're like, oh my God, you're back, this is the most amazing thing in the world, and our boundaries just sort of go out the window. And we have the same problems that we did in the first place that probably caused that connection to fracture, right? So in this particular case, You want to make sure that if you do have somebody, you welcome somebody back in your life, that you're keeping those standards and you're keeping those boundaries, you know. Otherwise, that's going to seem, if you're not keeping your standards, that's going to seem more of a heart gamble. That's going to seem more like scary than it is if you have very clear-cut boundaries about what you want to do with this person, what you want this connection to look like, what are your expectations, what are their expectations, you know, depending on if this is a really big committed relationship or even if it's like a friends with benefits situation. You know, we're managing expectations. What do I want? What do you want? Are we on the same page? What has to happen for us to be on the same page? Overall, I do think you're in a really fun connection. I think you're having a lot of fun with this person that you're, you know, either with or maybe recently been separated from. So I think that as long as you have your standards and boundaries and you're leaving space in order for truth to come out between you, you're golden. You're good. You know, continue on. Be amazing. All right, Group B, that's all I have for you. I hope that resonated. Let me know if it did. Let me know what's been going on. Tell me what's resonated. Talk to me in the comment section. I want to hear from you. All right, last but certainly not least, we have Group C. Let's see what's going on. Okay. Okay, so right away, I do feel like you're in a relationship with this person, I will say. You could be in separation with this person, but I do think this is a romantic committed partnership. I think you might have had a bit of a tower moment in your relationship or a tower moment in your connection. And what I like to define as a tower moment is when you're in a connection with someone or you're in a relationship with someone and then something very shocking happens or is revealed that really just changes the entire dynamic. That's really how I see the tower when I see it coming up in a relationship format or in when it comes to another person, right? So there might have been something that happened, or you might have gotten to a really bad argument. You know, we have this resentment card, right? We have stinging words, bitterness, and anger. So there might have been an argument, which is like totally makes sense. You know, at the time that I'm recording this in June, we have a Venus retrograde. There are a lot of arguments that are going on. And even when you watch this video in the future, there could be some circumstances that are happening out in the world that's really making everyone pretty much on edge, right? So there might have been a tower moment where someone might have revealed themselves, or you guys got into an argument and it wasn't great and you were really, really angry, or they were really, really angry, right? And it's kind of making you question that dynamic. It's kind of making you question it. So other than that tower moment, I think that this connection is something that will go well so long as you guys communicate, right? We have this communication card. Address concerns without attacking person's communication is the issue. Healthy and loving dialogue. So maybe you guys got into an argument, maybe you got into a fight, and this person, you know, you popping off at the mouth and they were popping off at the mouth, and you guys were like, you know what, well, F you, and they were like, well, F you too, and that's kind of what happened. So just because you had that moment in your connection where you guys really weren't getting along does not mean that now this relationship is the worst thing ever and it can never be fixed. What it does mean is that you guys do need to find a better way to communicate with each other, what's going on inside of you in a healthy and loving way, right? You also might just need some time away from this connection. You know, sometimes we are with people and, you know, we just need some time away. We just need to be by ourselves, you know, some time to heal, to have some progress, right? We also have this card, life goals. Be sure that your life goals, lifestyle are congruent with your partner's, grow together and grow apart. So your argument might have been about lifestyle or about, you know, religion, or just, you know, certain opinions, really heated opinions about what's going on in the world. So it's really good to evaluate making sure that your partner or the connection that you do have, it lines up with what you want in life, right? With this Ace of Swords, what that could also talk about is like this could be your values or what you think about the world. It's a very thinking card. Your personal philosophies. Do your personal philosophies match up with your partner's? Do your personal philosophies match up with the person that you're interested in? Are you guys different political parties? Are you different religions? Do you see the world in completely different place? Are you a spiritual person who, sees synchronicities all over the place, and this person's just like, what's a synchronicity? What are you talking about? I don't understand what you're talking about. Like, that's something that you might have to navigate in that connection. We also have this longing card, aching, pining, or past love. So this could indicate that this person is an ex, or someone that you recently broken up with, or someone that you are taking a break from, and either you really miss them or they really miss you. I do think that this connection is definitely something that is worth saving. It looks like you guys had a bit of a tower moment, but that surely does not mean that you can't have a healthy, beautiful connection. Because let me tell you something about relationships. We all have tower moments. We all have tower moments. Tower moments happen in every connection, in every relationship, in every friendship, at every job. This is just the way of things, right? So I'm going to pull out a couple more cards, get a little bit into the future, how this will resolve, how it's going to go. We can kind of go see what's going on here. So we have fire in my soul. Beautiful. Inspiration. I think that this situation is really going to inspire you. It's really going to make you feel like, okay, like I need to get on my game. Maybe there were some things that I didn't realize about myself communication wise that I need to work on. And now I have that inspiration to work on that. And I think that that's beautiful. And then what else do we have here? Okay. We have the real deal. See, this is what I'm saying. It needs time, right? The real deal. That's all about having a connection that is the real deal. You see, this person is giving this other person a ring, right? That's marriage. That's committed partnership. That's kind of where this connection is going, provided you guys do the healing and the communication that's necessary. So like I said, just because you have a tower moment in your relationship, in your connection, or even with a friend or anyone in your life, does not mean that now that entire connection is worthless and useless and you can't work it out. What it does mean is that it needs some work. It needs some work, and that work is going to be necessary whether you stay with this person or you get with someone entirely different. All right, let's get one last card. Yup. Trials of love. Lessons. You are in a trial of love right now. You're learning a lesson so that you can get better. This connection is one that's good. It's worth saving. However, that doesn't mean it's not going to be hard, right? You're in a trial, you're in a situation, it's not the greatest. That does not necessarily mean that you won't have a future with this person. It does mean that you will have to learn lessons. And really, when you think about it, what's the point of being in a relationship if you're not growing, learning, and becoming better because of it, right? If anything, that just says that your connection is doing its job. All right, group C, please let me know if this resonated with you. I kind of want to know your thoughts. I want you guys to tell me. I know a lot of people will be coming from Instagram to watch these videos. I would love to know how you guys love the new format. You've been begging me to make a YouTube channel. Here it is. I don't have a set schedule or a set date or anything like that, but we're going to make the YouTube videos work, and I'm just so freaking happy to be doing this with you. Please tell me how these resonated for you, how you liked it, what kind of pick of cards you want to see, what kind of content you want to see. I am listening. I will be answering most of your comments. So yeah, I can't wait to see you in the comment section. And remember to be compassionate with yourself and others. And with that being said, I'm heading off.